My name is Melissa Rice, and I received a Bachelor of Music at ENMU. I am the head band director and fine arts department head for the Lovington Municipal Schools. I am the high school band director as my primary position. I also assist at the middle school and at the 6th grade academy. I'm an only child. My dad was military, so I traveled around, lived a lot of different places. He ended up retiring at Cannon, outside of Clovis, and I graduated from Clovis High School, and then I ended up at ENMU for my undergraduate degree. I like to read. I obviously like music, but right now the thing that's taking up all of my spare time is I'm renovating a house. So I guess I will say right now my hobbies are renovating. When I was in high school, I was looking around at a lot of different schools in the area, and I'd lived a lot of places, so I was wanting to kind of go far away. Obviously that didn't happen. I ended up at ENMU, but I went to ENMU because I felt like I was going to be very valued at ENMU, primarily by Dustin Seifert, who is still the director of bands at Eastern. He really showed a lot of value in me and asked for me to come over there and to give me a scholarship and everything. So that for me was one of the biggest reasons why I chose to go to ENMU, and it's the best decision I ever made. I started at ENMU as an English major. Dustin still was recruiting me to be in the band. He was still going to give me scholarship money, still valued me as a musician, but I felt, it's just so funny now to think about it, but I felt like I wasn't good enough to be a music major, and I had an interest in English. I was a good writer. I loved to read. I thought, oh, that's what I'm going to do. So I went in as an English major, and I was an English major for like 3 full years. And I was a music minor that whole time. So I was, active in the music department, taking a few music classes every semester, obviously taking lessons, being in the ensembles. And then in my 3rd year of school, I thought, man, all of my friends are in the music department. All of my passion is in the music department. That's where I feel the best. And so I made a kind of last minute decision, changed my degree to music, and banged out like 4 years of work in 2 years to get out of there. So I guess the reason I chose it was I just felt like it was more where I belonged, and obviously that's true. That's kind of a difficult question because I feel like a little bit in a way I'm already achieving that. One of my big bucket list items is to be the head director of a program, and this is my 1st year in this position, and so I've checked that box off. But I think the thing that for me as a music educator that I want to give my students like a lifelong appreciation of music, whether they go into music or not. And it's really nice to have students that I used to teach in Clovis, who are now in college. In fact, I did an interview 2 weeks ago with a student who needed to interview someone, and she's studying to be a music educator now. And I taught her beginning band, and she wanted to interview me. I have students now that are actually going to ENMU to be music education majors. And that to me is, I think, the legacy that I want to that's my ultimate goal, is to give these kids a lifelong appreciation of music. Even if they don't continue in music, that they pursue, community bands, or that they want to encourage their children to be in band, things like that. It's hard because there's not a part that I did not like. What I think I loved the most, and the thing that I always encourage my students if they are asking me about the benefits of going to ENMU, I tell them that if you go to ENMU, you are someone. Because I got my master's degree at a Division I big huge university, But I was a graduate student, so I still had like that, I was still someone, but I can't imagine going to a college like that as an undergrad. I think it really, really is special because people know your name. I'm on the ENMU, the board of directors for the ENMU Alumni Association right now. And even still, if I go to things, people that, you know, they still remember my name. I was someone, I was able to have experiences that I wouldn't have had at other schools. And I have the best friends of my life still I have that I met at ENMU. I did, in my department, I was a finalist for the Friends of Music Scholarship, and I often got the like runner-up scholarship for that. I never quite won the whole thing. But that's like a recital audition that you like perform in front of a full panel of people. I was also the principal clarinetist in the Wind Symphony, and I was the drum major of the Greyhound Sound Marching Band. So I had those sort of leadership positions like that. I just recently became the state chair for New Mexico for Women Band Directors International, and so I am participating in their conference that they're going to be having. I have a big interest in like women in music because band directing is a very masculine profession, so I really like to promote women in music ed. Drum major of the Greyhound Sound. I was in the Wind Symphony. I was the principal clarinetist in the Wind Symphony. I was in National Band Association. I was also a president's ambassador while I was at ENMU. And I was in Kappa Kappa Psi, which is an honorary band service fraternity. And I was the president of the entire Southwest District, which is all the chapters in New Mexico, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma. So I was very active in that organization when I was in undergrad. The person that's still one of my primary mentors, Dustin Seifert, he got me there to ENMU. He kept me there at ENMU. He supported me when I changed to music, and he still supports me. He was here about a week and a half ago to work with my top band. He is still the primary mentor in my life. I also studied under Dr. Jennifer Lobenthal when I was there for clarinet. She's no longer there, but she was a great mentor to me, as well as Kayla Lichty, who's still there. She was always my accompanist on my recitals. Wonderful human being to have to work with and to talk to and to guide you. It would have to be Wind Symphony. I mean, that is what I do now for, it's my career. So I always enjoyed being able to play with other musicians and really explore some really quality music. And it's guided me on my path as a music educator to select good quality music for my students. One of my kind of, I guess, very unrelated to what I do, but I've always wanted to try, is I would love to be an audiobook narrator. I like to listen to audiobooks, and sometimes I hear different narrators, and I think, oh, I would love to do that. Plus, one of the weird things about how I teach is I use a lot of different accents a lot of times when I teach, and I feel like it would be fun to do something like that, to be able to narrate audiobooks. One of the most important things to do is to just stick true to who you are, to what you believe in. And I think that's for everything, for every different career. But when you go into music education, there's a lot of opinions out there that control our field. And a lot of times you have to just be able to stand up for how you think it should sound, or what you should do, or what there's just so many different opinions that can affect our field. So I think it's just important to be yourself.